Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasharala, giving the course all honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of some of the God, sitting on Shah. This is your brother Yasharala.
Brother Tazaiyar, Gabar.
Brother Apttmh.
Khan, coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the Spirit and Power, Yahweh, Bashima, Mashak, Yahweh. All right. Shabbat Shalom also to all that's observing it today. All right. Of course, you know, if you're not celebrating it, hey, still mighty Shalom, much love, you know. At least if you're keeping it, you know, you're still trying to keep the commandments, which is the end goal in this thing, right? And also shout out to Tazaiyar to Gabar, the brother right next to me on the screen here. Tazaiyar Gabar, you know, he's a mighty prophet out of Colorado. All right, he has a YouTube channel. You can search up his name, as well as a Instagram. You know, I think it's Saint Taz on the Instagram. So, you know, go ahead and follow him, check out his videos, and et cetera, right? You also have Ahbayah, all right, mighty brother out of Atlanta. All right, he's also part of WFI Atlanta. You can check out the YouTube as well as Instagram, right? And you know, go ahead and check that out. You know what I'm saying? Mighty edification, as well as, you know, videos, history, going into the history and breakdowns and prophecy, right? So all praise to the Most High, right? So Khan, all praises. So Khan, let's get straight into this. Who wants to be the reader? Or Tazaiyar, are you trying to be the reader?
Okay.
No, it's not lagging for Ahbayah either, so we good, low key. But I could read, yeah. I'm here, y'all.
All right, Khan.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
So this woman is not a literal woman, all right? It's parabolic and symbolic for the nation of Israel, all right? And first of all, when you read the Bible, you can't just take all of it as literal, all right? That's not how you read the Bible, because within the Bible, you have something called, you know, metaphors and similitudes, right? Let me just get a precept on that. Let's go to Hosea 13 and verse 10, all right? Hosea 13 and verse 10, right? Or Hosea, where's this precept at, right? That I want it. All right, let me get him my other Bible, right? So everything you read in the scriptures is not literal, and this is not literal either. It's not a literal woman, all right? Let's go to Hosea 12 and 10, right? Hosea 12 and 10, it says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So John is a prophet, all right? And he's looking up into this vision. He's describing this woman that's clothed with the sun and the moon, right? So this is not literal, right? I mean, it's not literal, right? It's a similitude, all right? It's a metaphor going into something deeper, all right? So Khan, you got it.
I got a precept on that. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 7. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered a man-child. Now, who is this she that's the Lord's talking about? Let's keep reading. Verse 8. Who have heard such a thing? Who have seen much things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. She's talking about Israel, man. It's not talking about Eve at the corner store, or Walmart, stuff like that. It's talking about Israel, because we're referred to as a delicate woman, man. Right? But he got it.
Like precepts, the book of Ruth, chapter 5, and we'll start at verse 2. Right, cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from God, and set a diadem on thine head of the glory from the everlasting. For God will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven. For thy name shall be called of God forever, the peace of righteousness and the glory of God's worship. Arise, O Jerusalem. Right, that's the point right there. Arise, O Jerusalem, stand on high. Right, in those times we're going to be standing on high. We're going to be bright unto all the world. Why? Because we're going to, have our kingdom in those times, man. We're going to have a damn crown, a spiritual crown, but everybody's going to be united. All those 12 tribes are going to be united. We're going to have brightness, and it says sun and the moon That just means, hey, we're going to be wearing the sun and the moon. That just means the knowledge and wisdom and understanding. We're actually going to, be in our right bodies, in our perfect mind. With Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's that double garment we got to cast off is the sun and moon of this world. If you got your shit, we got to cast off the sun and the moon of this world. Hey, sooner or later we got to put on the sun and the moon that coming from the Lord, man. Those knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that comes from the Lord. That's what I was going into.
Come. Another precept proving that this woman is symbolic for the nation of Israel, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 44 says, "This woman whom thou sawest is Zion, playing upon tables." This woman which thou sawest is Zion, right? So it says what? "And whereas she said unto thee, even she whom thou seest as a city building." So it was Zion, right? The nation of Israel was likened unto a comely delicate woman. That's Jeremiah 6:2, right? So this woman that John saw, remember, what we're trying to bring out is not a literal woman. All right, don't read it and be like, okay, woman, but how is she clothed the sun and the moon? You're going to start bugging yourself out if you think this is literal. All right, come. We're not. It's like we're not dealing with no damn Harry Potter and some damn Tales of Narnia stuff, man. All right, this is the scriptures, so you got to break it down line upon line. Here a little and there a little, precept upon precept, man. If you're not breaking it down precept upon precept, all right, you're gonna be bugged out and you're not gonna know what's going on. All right, come.
And touching on another point, he already brought out Jeremiah 6:2, but Israel represents our women. The light and the moon is clothed on our foot and our head because we're the children of the light. Let me get this real quick in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 5. Ye are ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night or of the nor of darkness. I'm gonna read it again. 1 Thessalonians 5:5. You are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. So we're the children of the light. We're walking around with the sun on our head and the moon on our foot, thinking vice versa, right? Because we're the children of the light. But
Come on, I got a precept for what the brothers is saying, right? This is the Lamentations chapter 1 and verse 4, right? The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins afflicted, and she is in bitterness. And that's right now. But in Revelation 12 is going into, in our kingdom. Those days we're literally gonna her is gonna be literally crowned. We're going to be in righteousness. We're going to be in the sun and the moon of the Lord. We're going to be in the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord. And that right now we're in, what do they say? Nobody's going to the solemn feast. Nobody's talking about the Sabbath. Nobody's talking about anything that we're supposed to be talking to, which is the light from the Lord, which the Bible was going into. Because we are the children of the light, man. We're not talking about light things. We get cast into darkness. We just get cast into them believing in Christianity and all these things. But hey, in those days, we're literally going to have understanding from the Lord. We're going to literally be clothed in the sun and the moon. That just represents wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from the Lord. Right? Verse 5, her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper. Now, who's this her? It's literally Zion. It's Israel. It's the Hebrew Israelites, man. It's literally the children of the light. Right? Her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper, for the Lord has afflicted her. For the multitude of her transgressions, her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. Right? That's plain upon tables, right? Right now, we're that herd that's in the bottom. Hey, sooner or later, we're going to be that herd that's going to be clothed in white, and clothed with the sun and the moon, man.
Come on. Now the precept, right, that sun and the moon is going into, right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 26, right? It says, "Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold." So we know this is not talking about literal, because if the sun already burns, Edomites up already, it can't literally be sevenfold, in the kingdom of heaven, right? Or, in the end times, that's, it's not literal, all right? And if the moon, right, because the Most High already ordained in Genesis chapter 1 that the moon was going to rule the night, right? It's going to be the lesser light. That's what he called it in the book of Genesis, first chapter. When he was creating the moon and the sun and the stars, right? He said, I'm going to have the moon to be the lesser light, right? To rule the night. So it's not gonna that's not gonna change, right? It's not gonna change. It's not gonna become the sun all of a sudden, right? So we know this is not talking about little, right? The light of the sun shall be sevenfold as the light of 7 days. So we know this is parabolic because the Lord that this when you go into the spiritual numerology, 7 is just a number of completion. In that day, the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people and healeth the stroke of their moon. Right? What does that mean? The knowledge and wisdom and understanding shall fill the earth. Right? Hope in the Lord. Right? Understanding of the Most High. Right? And the wisdom is going to fill the earth. Right? I'm just get a quick precept on that. Right? Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. You see that? As the waters cover the sea. What does Esau say? Esau says like 70% of the earth is covered in water. So that's how much knowledge of the Lord is going to be filling the whole earth in the kingdom of heaven. All right. Because like I just had another precept right on the sun and the moon. Can a brother give for me real quick Isaiah 13 in verse 13? All right.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 13.
Slot. Real quick, slot. Verse 10. Slot.
Verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
Right. So what is this going into? Right. This is going into Esau because when the Most High destroys Babylon the Great, the sun and the moon is not going to give their light. What does that mean? Their knowledge and their wisdom is going to put out. Right. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to have any knowledge and wisdom, right, anymore. Right. Because in the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, it says basically the Most High says like that. Look, hey, take your monthly prognosticators, take your wizards, right? Try to figure out, what to do in that day when I destroy you. That's the Lord talking his talk. So that sun and that moon is just symbolic again for that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that power that we had, right? When the Most High gave it to us, right? Khan, you got it.
I appreciate it. Am I delayed or
Wow.
Khan, you good.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 19. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and that God, thy glory, thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. So the light, the sun, and the moon is representative of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? That's the light. You being in darkness, having no light, that represents mourning and wickedness, man. Because aren't we the children that came from the darkness to the light? Let me get that real quick in 1 Peter 2:9. Right? So the 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness until his marvelous light. And this is the light, the Lord himself, Yahweh. That's the light, man. Right? So again, the woman clothed with the sun and the moon represents the light, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's the garment we wear. You got it.
Right, quick precept. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, in verse 19. They are vanished and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their steads. Young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge have they not known. So this is how we know that light can represent knowledge, right? Because it said they seen light. Okay, they seen the science, the philosophies of this world, but the way of knowledge have they not known. And that's the garment we're wearing right now. No, we see damn science. Some people see it as knowledge. Some people see it as a way of life. But the real way of life is the light that comes from the Lord, man. The light that connects with us, which is within us, which is the Lord, literally. All right, now I got one more precept. Right, it's the book of Baruch, Salaki, Isaiah 24 and verse 23. Then I'm gonna read verse 23. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously, man. Right, so in those days we're going to be reigning gloriously with the Lord. And it said the sun and moon shall be confounded. Does that mean like the sun's going to it's going to damn drop in the ocean? Everybody's just going to see the sun in the ocean or some shit like. It's not talking about that. It's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this world is going to be confused. The science, damn gravity, all that shit is going to be confused when your Yasharala breaks those skies, man. How the hell is he doing that? No, what about physics? That's literally what it's talking about, man. The sun and the moon is going to be ashamed, when the Lord is going to reign righteously in his stead, man. And that's plain upon tables. That's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this world. It was going to be confounded.
That's right, man. Right, the Lord's going to do away with this,
Mm-hmm.
How the Lord said, right? This vain science, I think roughly paraphrasing. Come on. Right, but I got a precept on that too, real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 3, right? It says, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, right? And kings to the brightness of thy rising. Meaning in the kingdom of heaven, man, the kingdom of heaven, hey, guess what? The heathen, they're not going to be teaching us a damn thing, all right? They're going to have to be coming to us to learn of the law, statutes, and commandments, and ultimately the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, right? We're going to be their teachers, right? Yeah, you may have a damn, heathen teacher right now, all right? Esau, teaching you, okay, let's go over damn astronomy, let's go over physics. So you had someone called Isaac Newton, et cetera, and you had a damn apple fall on his head. So there's something called gravity, right? No, look, we're going to be teaching your ass, Esau, right, in the kingdom. All right, you're going to have to come to us and be saying, okay, what does this mean? We're going to have to be breaking it down to you. All right, so that's the Gentiles coming to our light. And this coincides with many, many, many other precepts. For example, Micah chapter 4 verses 1 on down, as well as Micah 4 and Isaiah, as well as Isaiah chapter 2. All right, everybody will have to come and learn from us in the kingdom of heaven. By us, I mean the Israelites, right? Con, I just had one other precept. Can a brother give for me John 3 and 19? Right? I think it will. I kind of want to be John 3 and 19.
It's the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 19. And it reads, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world. That light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
Right, that light, and like the brother said, that light is Yahweh. We know that Yahweh is literally the word made flesh. That's John 1 and 14, right? Yahweh, he had all knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So they hated Yahweh on a deep level. They hate the truth, right? They hate the truth. They hate the knowledge that we're bringing up, right? The power of the Lord, right? So that light just ultimately just proving that sun and that moon, because they are lights, right? That the woman is clothed with is just going into that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
I got two precepts, one for light and the other one for the 12 stars.
Okay,
this is James 1 and 17. Am I delayed?
Wow.
James 1 and 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights. So Yahweh is the Father of lights, man. Right? When the Lord said, let your light so shine and stuff like that, that's just showing us letting people know that the Lord is with you. If you're in darkness, the Lord's not with you. That's why we're going to captivity, slavery, getting shot down in the street. The Lord's not with us. But you in this truth, you showing forth your light, that's showing that the Lord's with you, because he's the Father of lights. And the precept of the 12 stars, those 12 stars, Slow, you got it, Yasharala, you got it.
Slocky, real quick, let's just reread that verse, because it's been a while. People might be saying like, what is the 12 stars? So let's just reread that verse, and we can bring our preachers about the 12 stars.
So the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 1.
And
there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon, under her feet and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Right. So the woman we are established as Israel, right? And that sun and that moon, meaning that we had under her feet, meaning what? In her subjection, right? In her subjection. So we had that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that power on pat, right? Down pat. But what's that crown of 12 stars? Con, you got it, bye. Let's see what
Now you got
that
you
crown
can
of 12 stars. Oh no, yeah, you bring out your precept now. You can bring out your precept on the 12 stars. I got one.
James verse 1. The 12 stars represent Israel. Get the 12 tribes of Israel, right? But this is James, the servant of God, of the Lord Yahweh Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So those are the 12 stars, which are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Con, that's right. I got another precept, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis. All right. Con 37. Right. Let's go to Genesis 37 and verse 9, right? It says, and he dreamed a dream. This he is talking about Joseph, all right? Joseph, the son of Jacob. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren. And it said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me, right? The sun and the moon, ultimately in this case, will be Jacob and Rebecca, right? But the 11 stars, who are the 11 stars? The 12 tribes, right? Let's read that in verse 10. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him. So, hey, Jacob was like, what the hell is this? Because Jacob, hey, he already perceived through the spirit what this vision was, right? So you got to give props to our forefather Jacob, man, right? Because he could easily just break down that, that dream, right? Let a brother come up to you and say, hey, brother, I kind of dreamed a dream. I had, I saw like 11 stars and like I saw the sun and the moon that came down and made obeisance to me. Hey, that brother's going to be confounded, right? He'd be like, well, I don't know, right? Jacob was like, hey, he already perceived in the spirit what it was, right? But it says what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother, sun and the moon, right? And thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth. And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same, right? So the 12 stars, ultimately what I'm trying to get to is going into the 12 tribes of Israel, like the brother brought out, right? So Khan, you got it, Tazaiyar.
Come. Right, it's the book of Baruch, chapter 3. And we're going to start at verse 33. Right? He that sendeth forth light and calleth it and goeth, and it goeth, calleth it again, and it obeyeth him with fear. So this is the Lord. Right? He's the father of lights. He's the father of spirits. He's the father of things, putting things on the bottom, putting things on the top, putting things on the left, and putting things on the right. He's the father of controlling their paths of people. Huh? He's the father of this thing. Right? But verse 34, the stars shine in their watches and rejoiced. When he calleth them, they say, here we be. And so with cheerfulness, they show light unto him that made them. All right, so this is also twofold. The stars just going into, knowledge and wisdom, of course. But hey, this also right here, this shows that it's talking about his children. Right, this is our God, and there shall none other be accounted of in comparison of him. He has found out all the way of knowledge and has given it unto Jacob his servant and to Israel his beloved. Right, that's plain upon sages, man. The stars is literally going into, Israel and Jacob his servant. He literally, that's crazy, but that's literally a twofold scripture right there. Like you can't really break that down no other way. That's just going into, we represent lights to to the world. The stars, and it's and he says he moveth them, he they obey him, obeyeth him with fear. And if you read one more verse, right, 37, afterward did he show himself upon earth and converse with men. So that's also going into, when we're in the kingdom, huh? We're going to literally be shining, literally shining as stars, and as, wearing that glorious garment with the sun and the moon, on the right-hand side, This shows that Israelites are represented as stars as well.
That's right. It's like I had another precept. If a brother can pull for me Genesis 15 and verse 5, right? Bible 5.
Oh.
Right. Genesis 15 and 5, right?
All right, Genesis 15 and 5, right?
Come.
And it reads, and he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now towards heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall they be, so shall thy seed be.
See that? So just another precept of the Lord comparing the stars to Israelites, right? To the seed of Abraham, right? And we know that the seed of Abraham is mentioned as the Israelites, right? So kind of just another precept going into that, you know. Yeah, precepts like about it. Yeah, precept.
Oh yeah, you good.
Come. But so just another recap, right? That crown of 12 stars that you read in Revelation 12:1 is just going into the 12 tribes of Israel. And we can further substantiate that as we go down into the chapter, right? So let's go back to that, right?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 2.
Con.
It reads, and she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Right. So she being with child and cried. This child is, let's get Micah chapter 4, verse 10 real quick, right? Con. It's just kind of that same phraseology. But this child ultimately is going to Yahweh, right? Let's just get a precept real quick, right? And now I'll pass it to Ahbayah, right? This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10, right? It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. Meaning you're going to leave Israel. You're going to leave Jerusalem. You're going to leave Herod, right? Horeb. You're going to leave, Samaria, Galilee. You're going to leave your city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. The field is going into basically Africa, right? As we spread over there. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. You see that? There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord will redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Because that literally happened to us. We left Israel. You read about the so-called Jewish diaspora, right? The scattering. We left Israel during the time of 70 AD, and even prior before that, right? Prior to that. But we left Israel during 70 AD. That was the climax of it. We went into Africa, went all the way to the shores of West Africa, and got picked up there by Esau, put us on boats, and we went into Babylon. That literally happened, right?
And she being with child cried. I think, let me read it again, Revelation 12:2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. I'm gonna get this real quick in Matthew chapter 2 verse 1. Now, when Yahusha was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Now, on the fold, that's your house right there. That's that child being delivered. When you read on down, I don't want to spoil anything, but when you read on down, that dragon is talking about Herod, because Herod was trying to take him out, man. Right, but it worked against him. Right, but I don't want to jump the gun, though.
Let me get this in second Ezra chapter 4. I believe so. Right. Hold on. I believe it was second Ezra. It might have been chapter 8.
But yeah, that child that she's trying to bring forth is going into Yahusha, right? It's going into Yahusha.
Going to your house. And that demon.
Y'all got it.
Y'all
got it.
Huh.
Damn.
That's kind of truthful too, because we got babes being born now and stuff like that. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen? They're going to try to persecute us and try to kill us in this thing in FEMA camps, putting us to death, getting our heads chopped off, and we going to get delivered, man. You can look on it in that way.
Con.
I can keep reading in Matthew too, though, if you need me to.
I could just get a classic probably, bro. Let me just get Second Thessalonians. Damn, I really wanted this one in Second Ezra's though. It's the book, right? Second Thessalonians. Chapter. Deal with first. Con, you keep reading. Damn, bro.
So this is Matthew chapter 2. I'm going to go in verse 4. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, where thus is written by the prophet. Right? Verse 6. And that's how you know they read the Old Testament. Everything was prophesied about Christ in the Old Testament. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of... Oh, that's a cut. Slocky. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently that time star appeared. So Herod, he was getting wise men, and where is he at? Go over there and go kill him, man. Verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, they may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came over where the young child was. When he saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. I'm going to jump down to the point. Verse 12. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed in their own country in another way. I'm gonna jump down to verse 13 too. I'm gonna keep going.
It's a lot.
And when they were,
it's lucky. Hey, we could just go back to the chapter Revelation chapter 12 until if Tazaiyar got that precept, he can bring it out, because this is ultimately going into the same thing, and in all the way to verse 6. So
Damn, bro. Come on. So Revelation 12 is we gonna read verse 2?
Come on. You can read verse 2 again, yeah.
Come on. And it reads, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth, in pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head.
Right. So, and not to cut you off, but yeah, this great red dragon is going to see Esau, right? They're going to see Esau, right? It says, what? This great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. The 7 heads is going to what? The 7 Edomite kingdoms, right? Basically 7 provinces that the Roman Empire occupied, right? So, for example, or for instance, the seven heads goes as listed, right? Spain, France, Great Britain, Russia, Italy, or / Rome, Greece, and what was the other one, right? Germany, right? Those are the 7 heads. The 10 horns, right? So the 10 horns will be basically the 10 nations of the original 10 EU nations, right? That would be the 10 horns, right? So does it have precepts or a point? That lets you know that it's talking about the Roman Empire, though, right? Or Esau in that matter, right? Because it says that it had 7 heads and 10 horns, right? And Salaki, right? Con. No, I don't have to pull it up. It's all right? So that lets you know, and I'm gonna get a precept on this. The book of Job, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 30. They said what?
Because I got a precept after you.
All right, come. This book of Job, chapter 30, and verse 29. It says, I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. So Job said he's a brother to dragons. See that? It's not a literal dragon. It's metaphoric for who? Esau, right? I'm a brother to a dragon. Because what is a dragon? A dragon is a serpent. Esau's a serpent. All right? He's a snake. All right, let's go to the book of real quick. I'm gonna just pull another Slack. You got it, King. You got it, actually.
This book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 7, and it reads, After this I saw in night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stepped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So these 10 horns again is the same beast in Revelation chapter 12. Talking about the Roman Empire.
That's right.
My precepts, the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. We'll read verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence in houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Right, so that's plain. Right, that's talking. Well, if you read verse 1, said the power is in their hand. Now, who has the power in their hand? Most above all is Esau, but in those times, it was, the Roman Empire. Those empires that were taking over Israel, just taking everything by violence, coveting fields, doing all those things with violence, man. That's none other than Esau.
I'm gonna just share this screen real quick, right? Just pull up this Roman Empire, right? So this is the Roman Empire in 117 AD at its greatest extent. And basically, the Roman Empire was a very, very vast empire, right? And a strong one too. But as it says in the book of Daniel chapter 2, it was partly strong and partly weak. It was iron and mixed with clay, I believe it says, right? But you had Italy, right? 7 heads, basically the 7 provinces that, the Roman Empire occupied, right? So Italy, right? Greece is over here, all right? Spain is over here. Britannia, which is Britain. You have Germania superior, also Germania inferior, right? Because Germania was consisted of Germanic tribes. They weren't all together, right? In fact, they fought against each other, all right? But you did have the Battle of Teutoburg, right? Let's look at the Battle of Teutoburg, right? In 9 AD, okay? 9 AD, the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, right? So basically, this is when the Germanic tribes actually came together in one unison against Publius Quintilis Varius, right? So they came against the Roman Empire because they were constantly being taxed and tributed, right? So they came together, actually formed a coalition against the Roman Empire. That was one of the times when the Germanic tribes actually came together in unison, right? But for the most part, there's like thousands of them. They were all fighting against each other, right? It says, I'm just to read this real quick. It says, the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, described as a varying disaster by Roman historians, took place in the Teutoburg Forest in 9 CE, which is a common era, right? Which is AD. when an alliance of Germanic peoples ambushed Roman legions and their auxiliaries, led by Publius Quintilis Varius. All right, so that took place in Germania. Just to put that out there. And you also had, of course, Britannia, right? The people of Rus were over here. They didn't go to Russia yet, but you still have the people that come from Russia over here, right? And of course, you have France, right? Gauls. Come. Come.
Can we get back to it? I think. Come. Are we at verse 4? Come 4, right?
Come.
Khan. Shalom, servant of the Most High, man. This is brother Des, W5 Baltimore. Oh, praise.
Shalom.
Shalom. And yeah, Isaiah 27:1. We're going into the Leviathan, Leviathan is a serpent. So yeah, Khan.
Come. Right, verse 4. Right, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Khan. So this is just going into the third part of the stars of heaven is just going into the southern kingdom. Remember, the southern kingdom consisted of 3 tribes, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So the third part of the stars of heaven is going into the southern kingdom. So the Roman Empire coming into Israel and subduing us, both physically and spiritually, right? So that's what that's going into, right? Come on. Brothers have precepts on that,
I'll probably get a quick one real fast. So, well, come. We got to just get back to it.
We can get back to it, yeah.
Verse 5.
Oh, so look, I had one more. I just had one precept.
Come.
All right, like how the brother brought out in Matthew 2, right? Let me just get it again, right? Matthew, right, chapter 2 and verse 13, right? Or if you want to read that about, you can if you want, because I know you're about to read it. We're about to read it.
Got it.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So Herod wanted to kill Yahushua right when he was born, when he was a baby, right? Because when you go to verse 16, it says, Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, right? And in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time when he had diligently inquired of the wise men. So he was taking every child that was 2 years and under, and killing them, so he can stop the prophecies about Yahweh coming, right? So he can stop Yahweh from being born, because he understands. Hey, these heathen kings are on a different level, okay? Because he actually understood the power of the Messiah. He understood the power of Yahweh. Well, guess what, Esau? Your plan failed. You thought you can kill the Messiah, and you couldn't, right? Like how the Lord said in John chapter 19, no power is given unto you except it were given to you, my Father, right? So it wasn't time to kill Yahweh then, right? Come.
All right, verse 5. Brother, that precept? Or what?
You got it, King.
Come, you got it.
Revelation chapter 12 and 5. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne.
Con. That lets you know it's talking about Yahweh, right? Because he's going to be the main man who's going to rule these nations with the rod of iron, right? Brothers got it?
I got a precept. Let me get right. This is the book of Revelation, verse 26. I start verse 25. But that which you have already hold, but that which you have already hold fast till I come, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as of vessels of potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So chiefly the Lord going to be ruling the nation with a rod of iron. He going to give that power unto us as well. We can get another precept in Revelation 19. That's talking about Yahweh in Revelation chapter 12. This is a book of Revelation. Carl, you got it.
No, I was just saying, yeah, con.
This book of Revelation, chapter 19. Let me see where I'm going to start. Bear with me. In verse 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And that's talking about Yahushua when he make his second coming. He's going to destroy this place. We're going to bring them to slavery. We're going to rule them with that rod of iron, man.
That's right.
Right. Quick precept as well. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 4. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. So it's plain upon tables. And that he's going to do that. With the rod of iron and with his mouth he's going to slay the wicked, with his righteousness that comes out of his mouth, which is Yahweh in his words. You know?
That's right.
Go
Con. Those are good precepts, man. I'm gonna just get this quick precept, and we can go back to that Psalms, right? I'm trying to think if there's another precept with that, but let's go to Psalms chapter 2 and verse 9, right? It says, I'm gonna start verse 7, right? Get the context. I will declare the decree. All right, Salaki. Right? It says, I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Ultimately, this is the Yahweh talking to Yahweh Shah ultimately, right? On the one fold, right? Because the Lord is saying, Yahweh is saying, look, hey, son, just asking me. I'll give you the heathen for your inheritance, right? And the Lord is also asking us the same thing, because ultimately we're the sons of the Most High too, right? But it says, verse 9, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Meaning you're going to rule these nations with a rod of iron. What does that mean? Rule them in rigor, like how the Egyptians did us, like how Esau did us, right? Like how these Babylonians did us. All right, so come.
Let's go back to it. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 5. Right. And she brought forth the man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, and she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Right, that's going into the 1,260 days, right? It's 60, right? It's really Yahweh Shah, right? in Egypt, but on a deeper level, it's talking about America, right?
Con. Yeah,
Con.
con.
Blog, I just want to make a point. Kind of like the brother said, we're kind of in those days right now. But if this place is referred to as a wilderness, a dry, thirsty land, the truth is bare. The truth is kind of barren and stuff like that. Let me see if we can get a precept.
That's right.
I don't think I have that. Book of Revelation, chapter 11. I'm gonna start at verse 8. And their dead bodies, Salaki, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And this is Sodom and Egypt right here, right? Spiritually Sodom, because all the homosexuality going on. Spiritually Egypt, because we're in slavery right now, man. Right? Let me keep going. And they of the people, again, tongues and nations, shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. Those 3 days and a half are the same thing as the 1260 days, 1,260 days. You got the 3 days and a half, the 40 and 2 months, the 1,260 days, right? Times and a half a time. These are the same things, man. It's all the same things, just different wordings. We'll read it again, Revelation 11 and 9. And they of the people and kindreds, tongues, and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And it's not talking about our actual dead bodies. You see Jake killed in the streets. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about spiritual. Not knowing that we're God's chosen people. Us being niggas. Us twerking on Instagram, cheating on our husbands and stuff like that, on their husbands and stuff like that. Because we're dead as a people. Right? We're just now waking up after 3 days and a half. Right? And they that dwell upon the earth, what I said on that, well, it's like I'm gonna jump down to verse 11 and it reads, I'm gonna keep going, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall say yes one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And that's what they do, man. That Statue of Liberty was sent to America from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, France, man. Yeah. And that's all in the Bible, man, for having us in captivity, for having us not knowing who we are. Right? I'm gonna keep going, Shalakia. Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's happening right now. After 3 days and a half, we're being rejuvenated back in the spirit, being healed back in the spirit, getting the life, the living water, and we getting the truth in this thing, man. But so all I'm trying to say is that wilderness is where we're in captivity under the so-called light.
That's right. Kind of had a quick precepts a lot. It's going into this Isaiah, or not Isaiah, Psalms, chapter 63 and verse 1. Right? Psalms chapter 63, verse 1. It says, "O God, thou art my God, early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee, my flesh longeth for thee, in a dry and thirsty land where no water is." You see that? So that's what David was saying. Hey, I'm in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. So hey, look, and this is a wilderness right here, where you're looking on your screen. That's a wilderness, right? This is this is spiritually, this is Babylon the Great right here, right? Now, of course, you have Florida, places like Florida. This is literally California, but of course, you have places like Florida, good, vegetation, right? People could be like, "Hey, what you talking about? How is America the wilderness?" Right? America is the wilderness. There's no water here, spiritually, right? There's no spiritual water here for us to drink, right? Did not the Lord say we're like the valley of dry bones? It's so dry, right? It's so. Hey, when's the last time you saw an Israelite just walking down the street, got fringes on, a meat tree, and head right? I haven't seen that here. I have to fly all the way to DC and the Unity camp to see that, right? 5 hours away on a plane, right? So it's dry because we don't see any knowledge, wisdom. We don't see anybody with the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We don't see anybody keeping the commandments, etc., etc. Right? So come.
Con, I appreciate it. Con,
Come, right, the water. Right, it's the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 9. Right, the classic. Hear Israel the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead. Now we're spiritually, if you ever heard of that movie Walking Dead, that's kind of like us, man. We're spiritually walking dead out here, man. In a strange country, just literally walking around scavenging for, bits and pieces, of Esau, feeding off their little, social media, all their systems they got going on. We're feeding off that, man. We're eating it like we really zombies out here. They're just taking our brain, right? And read on, right? Salaki. Verse 11, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. So we just like everybody else, man. But we're really not. We're really the children of Israel. We're the children of light. But we're acting like everybody else. We're acting like heathens, man. That's what the Lord is saying. Come on.
I appreciate Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Right? So, Babylon, man, when you go to Isaiah 14, goes into the destruction of Babylon, right? Which is Esau and stuff like that. It basically says you made the world into a wilderness, man. It's desolate. It's all dark. No truth going forth. No living water. And even on a physical level, man, they chopping down the tree. It's dry. The water's polluted. The air is polluted. Everybody's dying off. You got the animals, getting extinct. You got people, the race. It's all breaking loose. Is my is it lagging or something?
Come. A little bit, yeah.
Much late, 10 seconds?
Come. Con, you done with your pointing or?
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, Con.
It's not delaying no more. It's just lagging now.
Con, yeah. So like how the brothers are bringing out, man. This is wilderness right here, the spiritual wilderness. All right, and it doesn't have to say America in there, right? It doesn't have to say America. If you want to find the word America in the Bible, you can just give it up, because it's not going to be in there. That's why you need the spiritual understanding, the eye salve, as you read in Revelation chapter 3. You need the eye salve to see, right? You need to have ears to hear and eyes to see, as well as lining it up, your understanding with the precepts. All right, so come.
Are we back at it in Revelation?
Come.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 6. Right. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right, and this is not right. And read verse 8, so we can get two precepts in there.
And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Come, the Water King, right? So this not going into, and let your pastors tell it. They'll bring this out and say, Satan, he was bad. He was fighting against Michael, archangel, right? They were fighting in heaven, right? Boom, boom, and then Michael kind of boom hit him with the upper, or the side, or a jab, uppercut, boom. Satan got he got chin check, man, right? Got chin check, so he fell down, right? And he fell past the earth, fell all the way down underground. Right? Like, damn, I just got kicked out of heaven. That's not what it's going into. All right. So, All right, just had to put that disclaimer out there. But anyways, the true understanding is going to say what it said when it says there was war in heaven. Heaven is just talking about the firmament. It's talking about the sky. All right, let's get that precept. Right, let's go to Genesis chapter 1. Right, war in heaven. Right, in the sky. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 8. Genesis 1 and 8, straight to the point. And God called the firmament heaven. So the firmament, right, is just talking, or the heaven and the firmament, in this case, is talking about the sky, right? And the evening and the morning were the second day, right? So, brothers got precept on the word heaven.
Actually,
Come.
1 second. I was trying to look for this other precept. I'll say some another folk too. Heaven means these different kingdoms as well. I'm gonna get this real quick. Book of Isaiah 14. This is the other precept that will go to Yasharala. Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. And that's how these Edomites feel, man. They want to be on top. They want to have the best military. They got the what's it called, the space force to go against the Lord for when Yahweh come back to fight against the Lord and stuff like that. But it just told you they didn't prevail. When Michael the archangel come, the thousands of angels with Yahweh, it's going to be him versus the Lord. I mean, it's going to be him versus Esau, man. In the heavens, like the brother was saying, in the sky. That's why they got the space force right now, man. They don't have the space force for no reason. It's for an exact reason to go against the Lord and fight in the air. Come. I'm going to keep reading verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Hey, they're going to be brought down to hell, brought down to desolation, brought down to nothing, man. Okay, you got it.
And it's like real quick. Yeah, I know. I was just saying that this guy in this case in verse 7 is going to, because they're going to be fighting in the sky, right? You're going to be fighting in the sky, like literally, they're going to be fighting, right? Michael, which will be the chief or one of the chief angels on the right hand side, for fighting against evil, right? Because you read that in Daniel chapter 1, that Michael archangel is going to stand up for the nation of Israel, and in verse 8, that precept that you read, I would say is for verse 8, where it says, "And prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven." Esau is going to be put down, right, from their highest state. You know what I'm saying, from their heaven. So come
up.
All praise. Just so we're on one accord. And so, and it's like real quick, Tazaiyar, they actually instituted in 2019 under Trump, right, the United States Space Force. Why'd they do that, right? You have brothers saying the chariots, or what are they saying? They're saying the UFOs are not the chariots of the Most High. Well, then why do they do this? Why are they spending money on Space Force, right? On the Space Force, on guns and missiles and defense mechanisms, right? If they're not trying to fight against the Lord. Khan, you got it, King.
Right. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 20. Right, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Right, then the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the cloud, one jumps to verse. So lucky. Well, that's plain. Well, it's plain. Verse 20 was the point, basically. And the world shall fight with him against the wise. That road is literally going to Yahushai, the angels, and the elect. And we're all going to fight against the unwise. They're unwise because literally they fight against us, man. Literally. Right? But also, let me just get this. Right, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, right? The classic. Let me just get it real fast. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 13, and verse. We'll read verse 8. And after this I behold, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid and durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held a sword, nor instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Right, so it's plain they're going to literally try to fight against us, that the people will select you. The people in the angels, the elect that come from the heavens to fight against the unwise and to fight against the dragon. It's ultimately going into the dragon, which is Esau. They're going to be so proud, like brothers read in Isaiah 14 and 12, so proud that they're going to literally go up to the heavens, literally fight against, the sons of God and, his son himself, man. Literally. That's what they're going to do, and that's what that verse is going into in the book of Revelation chapter 12.
Chapter 13. I'm gonna get the 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 31. Slug, were you doing your point?
Come on, I was done.
Come. And it reads 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. Straight like that. It's gonna be one realm versus another. You want the spiritual realm versus the physical and carnal realm in this thing, man. The spiritual realm always wins. That's how the Lord said it. It's gonna be one realm versus another. You're gonna have Yahushua, Michael, the archangel, and the other angels versus Esau, which is the dragon, and his angels. If we're gonna see who's gonna win, it's gonna be Yahweh or Yahushua.
Right. Add a quick precept, right? Right, let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, and verse 16. It says, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in their trouble. So Habakkuk saw the second coming of Mahashak Yahusha, right? And he was like, hey, man, my lips are quivering, my knees are shaking, I'm sweating. Like I just ran 5 miles, right? Hey, I'm scared as hell. And this is just a vision, man. Imagine you actually being there, right? And he said, I won't rest during the day of trouble, meaning I would rather be in the damn grave than to be alive during Jacob's struggle, man. Than to be alive when Yahweh Shah comes back and you see his terror, But it says what? When he cometh upon the people, when he comes to the people that's trying to fight against him, right? This is talking about Yahweh Shah. He will invade them with his troops. So Yahweh Shah got troops, man. Right? He has troops with him. All right, and the troops aren't these people. Okay, real quick. Man. Oh my God, right? The troops aren't these people, man. Right? These are not Yahweh Shah's troops. Okay, they don't look like this. In fact, the people that Yahweh Shah is fighting against actually look like this. Right? so Yahweh Shah, and this doesn't look like a troop at all. Stop playing with the Most High, right? We're not trying to play no games up here, all right? That's not, the Lord said he's coming with troops, okay? He's coming with the army, all right? Khan, brother said, Khan, did anyone get Isaiah 13:19, right? Khan, we can get that. Khan, that's a good precept.
Isaiah 13 and verse 19. In Babylon, the glory of them, the beauty of the child.
Brother, like,
Because am I delayed?
Con.
you just lagging. I don't think you delayed.
You don't hear me?
Con, but it's in and out.
Am I still lagging?
Con.
Am I still lagging?
Con.
We'll just leave and come back.
Con.
You can hear me now?
We can hear you. I think.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Isaiah 13 and verse 19.
Oh shit. Bro. She got kicked out, man. What the hell?
Dang.
Con.
I'll get it.
Con.
All right, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. That's lucky. In Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Con, I got a quick precept for that too. Like real fast. Look at Micah chapter 7. Micah chapter 7 and verse, we'll read verse, we'll start at verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the myrrh of the tree. In that day thy walls are to be built, in that day shall the debris be far removed. Here's the point. In that day also he shall come even to thee from Assyria, and from the fortified cities, Slakia, and from the fortress even to the river, and from sea to sea, and from mountain. Notwithstanding, the land shall be desolate because of them that dwell therein, for the fruit of their doings. Plain upon tables. Right, so for the fruit of their own doings is going to be destroyed. So the land's going to be destroyed. You know, the Assyrian is going to be literally just like that precept says. It's going to be like all these cities, man. The Lord is literally going to tread. You can also read that in the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 2 and 7.
Con. Con. Con, all praises. Hey, can a brother pull for me Revelation 19:14? Right? Let's get that precept, man.
Revelation 19 and verse 14.
Con.
And the armies which were in heaven fought white horses, clothed in fine white.
Right. So it says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. You see that? So Yahweh Shah, the point is Yahweh Shah has an army with him, right? Michael has an army with him, and they're going to be fighting against Esau and the other nations. Read about that in Isaiah chapter 13, as well as second Ezra 13, right? And as well as Isaiah chapter 63, verses 1 on down. Yahweh Shah is going to tread down the people like he treads down the winepress, right? He says in Isaiah 63 verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, right? So you know that's Yahweh Shah, all right? It's coming to do some damage. I'll put it like that.
All right, precept. That's why he's called the Lord of Sabaoth. Let me get this real quick. James chapter 5 and verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of armies, man. He's the Lord of all armies. He's the captain, if you will, man. Right? Let me get this real quick, too. The Lord's not coming by himself, right? The Lord's not doing a hit or run by himself. No, he's coming with a whole army, right? I'm going to get this real quick in Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10. I believe this is what I want.
Yeah.
In verse 11, and it reads, And I beheld, And I heard the voice of many angels run about the throne, and the beasts and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands, man. So you can't even number it. It's a 10,000 times 10,000. I believe that's 100 million, if I'm not mistaken, or a million. I don't know. Then you got thousands of thousands. You can't even number it, right? The Lord is the Lord of armies. Let me get this other precept. Salakia. Second Chronicles. Let me see.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Second Chronicles chapter 13 and verse 12. And behold, God himself is with us for our captain. So it says God ourselves, and this is lowercase God. Well, not lowercase, but the whole. If it's uppercase, everything is uppercase. That's the Most High Yahweh. If it just says God, G-O-D, and it's the captain, that's talking about Yahushua. So it says Yahushua himself is with us for our captain, and his priests were sounding trumpets to cry alarm against you, O children of Israel. Fight ye not against the Lord God of your fathers, for ye shall not prosper. So Yahushua, he's the captain of the host, man. The Lord Sabaoth.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah, precept Tazaiyar.
I get when I paraphrase the Solomon. Let me just get that real fast. All right, Songs of Solomon 2. In verse 7. Read, I charge you, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roses, and by the and by the haunch field, that ye stir not up, nor wake my love till she sleep, till she please. The voice of my beloved, behold, he cometh leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills.
Damn, bro. I was about to get that. Con, you got it, King.
Hey, that's plenty. The voice of my beloved. We know who our beloved is. You can read Isaiah chapter 5 and 1 and 4. No, he's going to literally be skipping upon the mountains. It's not literal mountains, man. That it's not no damn, Fantastic Four, man. Damn, it's not one. It's literally the Lord stumping on these damn nations, man. He's a stepper,
right.
And the damn songs, big step. Hey, he's a real big stepper on these nations, man. The mountains, this nations. And hey, he's going to be stumping on it, bro. It's playing. He's going to destroy it. Utterly.
Just a quick precept on Yahushua being that captain, right, of the Lord's host, because let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Mahashiach Yahushua, right? I'm going to skip down to verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mahashiach. So why is Paul saying that you have to be a good soldier of Yahushua? Because Yahushua, he's that captain of all the soldiers, right? You're a good soldier of Yahushua. You see that? Because he foresees all the soldiers. Yahushua foresees all the soldiers, right? So on one sense, we're a soldier for Yahushua. But Yahushua, he also has soldiers of his own in the heavens, all right? Who are the angels? So come.
We go back to it, right? Right? Revelation chapter 12 and verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
All right. That's not going into, all right. It's not going into damn Lucifer, all right. And Satan, he's bad. So he got kicked out of heaven because he was trying to be the Most High. So the Most High got mad and be gone, right? Just kind of went down. No, that's not what it's going into, right? Just Esau, because this lets you know that it's talking about Esau, because it says, right? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. Esau is the serpent, man. He is the serpent. He's a snake, all right? He can never be trusted. It says, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. That lets you know who it's talking about. Because Esau deceives the whole world through the power of Satan, right? Slug, let me just get a precept on that, right? Oh, all right, all praises. This is Revelation 18, verse 23. The light of the candle shall no more shine at all in thee. Talking about Babylon the Great, right? You won't even light a candle over here, man. That's how much America is going to be despised by the Most High, right? This land, this is how much this land is going to be polluted, or is polluted rather. A candle, a light should not even be found in Babylon after it's destroyed, right? And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, right? By your sorceries were all nations deceived, because Esau has power on the left-hand side from Satan, and he deceives all the masses of the people. He deceives all nations, right? He told you that Yahweh Shai, or Jesus Christ, looks like a so-called white man, and all nations believe that. He made the nations believe it. He he persuades you, to take the thing, man. And millions of people are taking it. That's through his media, his sorcery, He influences the whole world that he's the last samurai, that he's the baddest, most coolest guy ever, right? That he's the most sexiest, he's the most athletic, etc., etc. Through all his media and sorcery, now everybody bows down to Esau, right? They got all nations bowing down onto Esau, right? And thinking that Esau should be upheld. No, you uphold Yahweh Ba Shema Mashak Yahushua, right? But all nations, they don't understand that because they're deceived. They're drinking that wine. Khan, you got it.
Yeah, he's that dragon. He's that serpent. I know the brother already pulled Isaiah 27:1, but this Ezekiel chapter 29 and verse 3. Speak and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I'm against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now we know if you keep it in its proper context, we know it's talking about a different one, but on another full level, this king of Egypt, this is Egypt, man. Right? This is Egypt. It's talking about Babylon, which is now, right? Esau. It says, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which I've said, my river is my own, and I have made it for myself. So this place is that great dragon. Esau is that great dragon. He's that serpent. He used subtlety on the left-hand side. He's a lion in his household. It's madness, man. He spits out fire, hot flame to destroy you, right? That's that dragon. He deceived the whole world during the Renaissance when he came into power, saying that Yahweh is a so-called white man, changing his name to Caesar, Jesus. What else? The iconoclasm, destroying all the paintings, all the pictures. What else, man? He did a lot of things, saying that we're nothing but Hispanics, we're nothing but niggas. He deceived the whole world, making them. They even made it seem like they're God's chosen people. So they deceived the whole world in this thing, right? Man. But Khan, you got it.
Yeah, creating the Trinity and whatnot, man. Madness. Khan, you got it.
Come on. It's the classic, right? 2 Corinthians 4:4, right? In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the glorious light of the gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Right, so that's plain, right? Who's the God of this world, man? Right, who's literally the person we're talking about? Who's literally the adversary? Who's literally the person who's controlling all these people's minds through the propaganda, through the television, through the damn internet, through TikTok, and through all these apps and things like that? Who's the God of all these things? Who's the controller of these things? Knowing what's inside of that thing is Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, who has blinded the whole world, man. Literally. That's literally Satan which blinded the whole world. Right? But read that last part again. Lest the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So the people that are already consumed of Satan, which is the world, the glorious light is not going to shine unto them either way, man. Right? And so they're going to get cast down with Satan and the devil, as is written. That's why that's why you got to read Revelation 18 and find out why you have to disconnect. And Micah 2 and 10 and all those things. You got to disconnect from this place, man. You know? Classic.
That's right. I have one more precept for that, man. Let's go to it's the Deuteronomy 32 and verse 32, right? For their vine is the vine of Sodom. Oh, damn. All right. It's going into Esau on a deeper level. All right. Their vine is the vine of Sodom. All right. You know, Esau and his sodomy. All right. And that's why, you know, you got Dwayne Wade and his son. All right. You know, if you didn't know about that situation, just go ahead and check it out, man. Man, it's madness. All right. That's why you have men saying that they're women. Okay. That's why you have our men saying that they're women. All right. And, you know, they kind of, you know, putting the extensions in their hair and, you know, trying on the high heels, trying on their mom's high heels, man. Putting on lipstick, man. Right. Instead of them putting on pants, they're putting on a dress. And then you have Eve putting on damn shorts. Right. What the hell is going on? It's all it's all out of order for real. Right. You know, you got, you know, our men, you know, acting all effeminate. But you have our women acting masculine, trying to fight people, right? You're out of your place. You're drinking the wine of Sodom, man. Right? The wine of Esau. You're being deceived, man. Right? Kind of brother Paul, Job 22 and 2. Job 10 and 22. I'm gonna get this precept in it. It says, I'm passing to the brothers. It says, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. The grapes are grapes of gall, the clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps. You see that? So they're saying, so the Most High is saying that Esau's wine is like poison from an asp, poison from a snake, right? And that's exactly what every nation upon the earth is drinking, right? That wine of Esau. If you don't drink it, like, you know, the Haitian president, he got murdered, man. And his wife. If you don't drink it, guess what? You're gonna have to pay the price, which is death. All right. So
I'll put a precept for the brother. It's Job chapter 10 and verse 22. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. And that's true. This is a land of darkness, man. Evilness. We gotta come out the darkness into the marvelous light, which is just truth, man. Everything is out of order. You got man popping man. You even got the animals out of order, man. You got animals. You got male animals, man. You got zebras getting popped by an elephant. There's madness in this thing, man. It's all out of order. Let me get this as well. There's Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 10, and it reads, I'll start at verse 5, actually. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So they have transgressed the laws by not keeping the commandments. The Lord, after the year of Jubilee, wishes to give the land rest, man. But they didn't. They're not doing that. That's why this earth, it can't really grow the things it need to grow in this thing, man. Right? So no one's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Let me jump down to verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. So this is called the city of confusion. Again, you might think, oh yeah, that's Sister Pretty. Whole time it's not a sister, it's a brother.
Oh damn, bro. That's true though. Con, like, hey, you got brothers like this, man. What the hell is this?
He went to my school.
He said what?
He went to my school. He was in my junior year class.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Me and my really friend, they was like, dang, man, he getting up there. I'm like, no, he sold his soul. That nigga sold his soul. He was weird. I won't say weird, but he was always to himself. But yeah.
See that? See? Nobody knows him. All right. That's crazy, man. And so look, he has pink hair. He's throwing up the peace sign like this. You know who does that? Japanese girls.
Lucy Vert.
Louis Bird too. You see that? What the hell is this? Right? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Look at Juice WRLD. What the hell? All right. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's madness. When I saw him like that, I'm like, dang, man, devil got to him.
Devil got to him. That's right. You know? And that's why it says in Revelation 18 that within Babylon, it has the souls of men, you know?
Mhm.
Come on, you brothers had a point.
I had a quick research.
Come on.
It's the book of Revelation. It's lucky. It was in Element chapter 17 and verse 1. This whole chapter goes in, but we'll read verse 1. Right? For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence, lucky. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. So this is happening to Babylon the Great right now, man. You know, even us being in this truth is giving them strange apparitions, man. You know, you probably got the president, you know, or this so-called 33 degree Masons, you know, the rulers of this nation. You know, the Hebrew Israelites, they probably dreaming of us, man. They probably dreaming of us taking over this damn planet. You know, strange apparitions, things like that. Those are what they're thinking about. You know, that's literally befalling this nation, right? Verse 3. No, lucky, verse 4. For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. This is literally happening, bro. You probably got Edomite after Edomite committing suicide because of the Hebrew Israelites on the streets, man. You know, down there popping pills, fentanyl, no overdose on that shit, man. All because they heard they're Edomite, you know, they're the devil, and they're going to die. And that one thing could drive Edomite crazy for real, man. You know, we all seen it happen, right? It's like I'm jump to verse 6, right? Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight of they saw not. So they couldn't imagine what was worse than what they saw, man. And what's that flame? You know, it's literally Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, man. Literally the Lord, that power that's going to overtake the nation. You know those words, you know that fire that's going to come out of Yahweh's mouth on a spiritual level, man. You know, literally by slaying them. You know, that them dying is their worst fear, man. You know, literally. Them being put to death by the flame, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, that's their worst fear. And they fear that so much. They think about it every single day, and that's real, man. You know, it's not just no damn, you know, it's not just no book that we just speaking. Hey, this is really what these Edomites out here doing, bro. They literally scared to death. Hey, you can see Trump doing it, saying on the news, man. The prophets of doom. No, we know he think about us at night. You know, we know he can't sleep. Man. You know, there's some Edomites that can't sleep because his word's coming out, man. And that's true right there, bro. You know?
A dreadful sound is in their ears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. God, all praise. Well, yeah, we can go back to that. You know, brothers, done with that.
Revelation chapter 12. Where we at? Verse 8. Salaki 9.
Con. Yeah, we read 9.
Con. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Right. So it says, God. So, and this is when Esau, right? Really, Babylon the Great too, but just mainly Esau, right? Is put down, right? That old serpent, right, is put down, right? And in verse 10, it says, "What? For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night." Really bringing up accusations against us, right? Esau brings up accusation on one fold, brings up accusations against us all the time, right? He does that all the time, man, right? And blames us for a lot of stuff, but he's going to finally be put down. Brothers got precepts on that. Out.
Precept for that. Right, this book, right, of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 19. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. So these Edomites, hey, we're going to be happy as hell when these Edomites are cut off, man. And you can also read that in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 12. We're going to be rejoicing at the fall of them. First trees rejoice at the, that's literally talking about the Israelites rejoicing at the fall of the Edomites, man. We're going to be happy, right? And they're going to be sad, man. They're going to be confused. Those dreams are going to become a reality for them, man. Literally, right? Verse 20. So I'm going to read that again, verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So that's none other than these Edomites, man. They'll kill somebody, for nothing, man. Or a thing for nothing, literally. They'll make a man accuser for a word. Somebody tripped. Oh, man, I'm accusing you. This and that. You said this word, so I'm accusing you of this. That's attempted murder right there. Esau, man. Just saying, just dumb stuff, bro. That's real though. Damn. Esau really does that though, bro. For real. And I make him. They're going to be cut off, man, and we're going to be happy. And that's plain,
Got a precept. The Psalm chapter 35 and verse 11. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. So false witnesses rising up against us, man. Talking about we did this, that, and the third. When you making us do this, that, and the third, we didn't know what we do. We don't know what we're doing, bro. But again, they giving false charges to the Lord. Talking about, you see what your people are doing? Wicked. Trying to, be like Satan in this thing. The same way Satan went to the Most High. Well, Job tempted him to destroy Job, man. Same thing with Esau. Trying to tempt him to tempt the Lord to destroy us as a nation of people. But the Lord is not hearing man. Especially a wicked man. A beast. Come on.
That's right, man.
Because the Lord knows Slocky. The Lord knows the heart. And he's that righteous judge. But you got it.
That's right, man. That's right. And real quick, right? Just for people that think that Satan, is going to be cast down, and they kind of link that precept up with Revelation 20 and how Satan, or the angel's going to grab up Satan. Come here, Satan. Put him in the bottomless pit, put a chain around it, lock it up. Ha ha. Right? And Satan's like, no. Right? That's not. Hey, get that thought out of your mind, right? Because that's not what it's going into, right? Hey, because how Brother Yahweh said, he said, hey, when everything's done and finished, hey, the Most High, you're gonna tell Satan, good job. See, brothers don't understand that. Hey, no, for real though, for real though, the Most High is going to say to Satan, good job, right? When everything's said and done. Because Satan does everything that the Most High wants him to do, right? So con that but that's that's a kind of different breakdown. But yeah, con. Just want to put that out there. Yeah, we can keep going though.
Right. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
See that? And this is talking about the elect, man. All right, the elect, they're going to overcome Satan. All right, they're going to overcome Esau. They're going to overcome the world, like it says in the book of John. Right? Let's just get that real quick, man. And they didn't love their lives. Right? They didn't love their lives. Just by you being here, right? The brothers being here, right? Shalom, shalom. Khan, happy Sabbath, Shabbat, shalom, right? I still have that up. Khan, shalom, shalom, right? But just by, Tazaiyar, Gabar, Ahbayah, right? We're all, kind of sharing our time, right? And we're keeping the command. Hey, any brother and sister that's keeping the commandments, right? That's in this truth. And we don't love our life, right? Because we left it. We left our life, right? And and the Lord gave us a new one, right? Let's go to John chapter 16 and verse 33. It says, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So just like how Yahushua overcame the world, we also got to overcome the world, man. And we do it by the power of the Most High God, Yahweh Bashima Mashak Yahushua, and the blood of the Lamb. And it's like, and ultimately, man, the blood of the Lamb that's shed for us, right? It covers us. So, brother, ultimately, it's all through the grace of the Most High. At the end of the day, you see that? Because Yahushua dying for us, now we're able to get salvation. You see that? So that's why you got to go through Yahushua, man. But yeah.
Precept too. It's the book of Philippians, chapter 2.
Damn.
Right, book of Philippians, chapter 2. And I'm going to read, Philippians chapter 1 and 26. That rejoicing may be more abundant in Yahushua Mashiach for me coming, by my coming to you again. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Christ, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel, and nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you salvation, and that is that of God. So that's playing upon tables. Do Yahushua, we have to get the, our conversation has to be through Yahushua. Hey, let's make our life about Yahushua, man. That's the only way we could fight this world, bro. Literally. If we still think about, oh man, I don't know about that Christ thing. They're saying in the book of Psalms that I'm a God, so me and him are equal. I could die for my nation right now. If we have that kind of mindset, you might as well, just I don't know, man. But we gotta. The only way we're gonna make it through this world, bro, is through Yahushua, Hamashiach. Right, and I'm gonna read this verse, 29. For unto you it is given in the behalf of Christ, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same conflict which ye saw in me, and now here to be in me. Right, and you can read this verse right here too. Right, this is how we know. Also, side point. This is how we know this Bible was made in one thing. Like what he didn't do chapter, he just stopped. Okay, let me think. Then do another. This is how we know right here. Also, right, Philippians 2:1. Right, if there be therefore any consolation in Christ, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels in mercy, fulfill ye my joy, that be like-minded, having the same love, being on one accord of one mind. So we have to be on one mind, man. The literally only way we can be one mind is if it's through a Mashiach. No, we can't be, because if if you only read the Old Testament, there's plenty of philosophies that could come out and spring out of the Old Testament, man. Yahweh he comes and selects all the things and combines it and literally makes it plain for the whole world, man. Or Isaiah 40. Hey, we wouldn't understand Isaiah 45 and 17 if it wasn't our Mashiach. We wouldn't understand Deuteronomy chapter 18. We wouldn't understand a lot of things. That's why you have to literally live through Hamashiach. And that's why you have to get the salvation which cometh from Yahweh through Hamashiach Yahweh, man. That's the only way. We have to be one mind. It's plain. Through the blood of the Lamb, through the Bashadam. That's what that means in Hebrew. But that's plain.
I got a precept. Did you already bring out Revelation chapter 1? This book of Revelation chapter 1 and verse 5. And from Yahweh Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead and the prince of the kings of the earth, to him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood. So his own blood covered us in a Hold on. I got it.
Right. He shed his blood for us, man, for the nation of Israel, right? And through that blood, we're able to overcome the world, right? We're overcome Esau, right? Also, I want to touch on, and they love not their lives unto death, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 14, verse 26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. That's cold. For a lot of people, they hear that, and they just close up the Bible. I ain't doing that, right? Well, I guess the Bible is not for me, right? Well, I guess it's not for you then, huh? The Lord say, hey, if you can't even hate your own life, you can't be my disciple. Get the hell away from me, right? And that's not talking about literally, right? It's not, kind of put handcuffs on you. You don't take showers, right? And, your father, is, kind of texting you, worried about you. You say, shut up, right? You don't talk to your mom, right? You don't talk to your brother. It's not that, right? It's not a literal hate, right? That hate is just, look, you're not putting them before you put the Most High, right? You're not putting them before you put God. You're always putting the Most High in Yahweh Shah first, right? And that's what that's going into, man, right? Even when it comes to your own life, right? Because Yahweh Shah said, whosoever, right, shall, let me just get this real quick. So, Matthew chapter 10, right? Let's get this in Matthew 10, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, right? And verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. Bahashima Mashaka Abashah, man. Right? So we gotta hate our life in this thing. Because literally, we're in captivity. What is there to love right here? Right? Of course, there's things to love, but our life is just consisted of captivity, right? And oppression. Right? But Khan, yeah, you got it.
You got it. Or unless you want me to go.
Khan, you get yours first.
This is Ecclesiastes 2 and 17, and reads, therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So even Solomon, he said he hated his life. He hated life, man. Everything is vain. It's vexation of spirit. Just because you got all the money, you rich, it's still vain, because it's all going to burn up at the end of the day. You prospering, so-called, getting all the women, get the cars, it's all going to get destroyed. It's all vain. You're going to die as a mortal man. It's all vain. There's no reason to be. Now, I'm not saying I hate your life. You got to be depressed. You got to be emotional. I'm just saying, man, let me just get a precept to answer to what I'm saying. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So being oppressed is going to make a wise man mad. No, you can't do certain things that you can. The food being defiled, getting shot down the streets, If a brother in this thing or a sister in this thing, and it's true, I mean, in a world happy, first of all, they're not wise, and second of all, they're not gonna make it.
Oh, that's plain. All right. Come precept 2, right? This is Luke 4, and we'll start at verse 4. I rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Let your moderation be known among men. The Lord is at hand. Careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. Right? So it said, be careful for nothing, man. No, is that literally saying be careful, don't care about anything? Huh? No, it's literally just saying focus on the Lord, bro. No, somebody damn while you teaching, somebody call you a B word, somebody try to damn spit on you, somebody step on your shoes, somebody step on them posters, somebody throw something at you, man. Hey, be careful with that, man. Don't give a damn about that, man. No, we not supposed to be caring about these worldly things that don't pertain to you. How about Shemi outside, huh? Somebody call you, hey, just anything that you really shouldn't care about, don't care about it, man. Nice point. All right. Verse 7, in the of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahushua. Right, that's plain upon tables. So let's let Yahushua onto us, man. Let's get led to him by his voice. John chapter 10 and 26. Let's hear his voice, bro. Let's follow Yahushua in this thing. Let's follow righteousness and peace. Literally to get the kingdom of God.
Another precept. So that's 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. So be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So you gotta be instant in season and out of season when you feel like you're on fire, and when you feel like you better be out of this thing, man. That's loving your life until not loving your life until death, man. You
Right.
can't just be you can't just be going out to do the work whenever you feel like it. Some days, you might be too tired. Some days you gotta read, but you might be too tired because plantation. What else? All hell breaking loose. You feel sick. I mean, Epaphroditus, if I'm saying his name right, he was about to pass out. He's about to die in this thing, man. But guess what? He didn't love his life. He still loved the Lord by carrying that burden, carrying that cross, and doing the will of the Lord.
That's right. Hey, that's the spirit, because I was about to pull that account. You know what I'm saying? And so like, let me just pull that account real quick, right? Because it's a good account, man. All right. Every brother and sister, should read, Philippians, because even Paul says to die in Mahashiach is gain. You know what I'm saying? And brothers hear that, they're like, damn, man. Right? You take your own life. Hey, you take your own life. Hey, Paul was like, hey, yeah, straight up, man. Straight up, I'm gonna die for Mahashiach Yahushua. All right. So we should have that same mindset, you know what I'm saying? We should strive to be mighty like that, man. Let's go to Philippians 2 and 25, because your death is not in vain. If you die for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, your death is not in vain, man. A lot of people, they die in vain, right? A lot of people, hey, guess what? A lot of our people, they died over a color, man. They died over a color. How many brothers and sisters, right? Even little children that that actually died because they were wearing a certain color, right? It's madness, right? But let's go to Philippians 2 and 25. Yet I suppose it necessary to send to you Epaphroditus, my brother and companion in labor and fellow soldier. And he's a soldier indeed, man. A soldier goes through all trials and tribulations, right? A soldier goes through a lot, man, right? If we call ourselves a soldier, we have to expect, we have to expect what the Most High expects us to endure. You know what I'm saying? It says, fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants. For he longed after you all and was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick. So Aphroditus was sick, right? For indeed he was sick nigh unto death. So this man was on his deathbed, right? He was on his death. He was about to die, right? Like the brother said. It says, but God have mercy on him, and not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow, right? But the Most High spared him, right? I send him therefore the more carefully, that when you see him again, you may rejoice, and that I may be the less sorrowful. So even though he was about to die, and he got up, right, and still ministered unto Paul, right, and still helped out the ministry, right? You see that? So calm, man. And that's a perfect example of a man not loving his life unto death.
Calm.
Calm.
I got one more short precept too. My classic. Right, it's the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 7. Therefore, brethren, we were comforted over you in all our affliction and distress by your faith. For now we live, if ye stand fast in the Lord. You know, so, hey, that's the only way we live, man. And that's, hey, if we live by this thing, we have to die by this thing, man. You know, there's no other way. Right? For what thanks can we render to God again for you, for all the joy wherewith we joy for your sakes before our God, 9 day praying exceedingly that we might see your face and might perfect that which is lacking in your faith. Right? So that's plain upon sables, man. The only way we live is literally through Hamashiach, man. That's the only way. No, other than that, we're dead. That's why we have to hate our life, because we know how much this flesh gets to us, man. No, that's why you have to hate this thing. No, we hate living in America, man. No, we hate literally just in our bodies. We hate this stuff, right? No, we don't literally hate our families, but hey, we hate our families, man. No, yes, we hate our mom. No, not only we don't hate them, but hey, it's certain things in them. We don't hate their spirit, but we hate their flesh. If you guys see it, man, we hate this. We hate everything, man. No, you could say that, bro. Like the more you really think about it, you really have to hate this shit, bro. Right, for real. No, that's the only way we could make our minds understand how this world works. Is by literally disliking it for a certain purpose that the Lord gave us, man. You know?
Yeah, like all is vanity, you know?
Yeah.
Vanity of vanities, man. Come on.
Um,
Yeah, we can go back to that.
Right, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Salaki, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time.
Right, so Satan and Esau, right? Because Satan does use Esau a lot. But they're coming down against us, against the Israelites, really against, the servants of the Most High, right? More and more in these last days, because he knows that he has but a short time. And that's why Satan, he's throwing many trials and tribulations at brothers, right? A lot of manifold temptations. Why? Because he knows he only has a short time, right? So, Khan, you got it.
I got Psalm chapter 37 and verse 13. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, man. So these Edomites, these devils, they know that their day is coming. They see all hell breaking loose, prophecies coming to pass, Israelites waking up, standing upon their feet. They know they have a short time, man. At first, they used to think, yeah, we got these niggas. They don't know who they are. They smoking weed. Their wives, their kids, all out of order. And we got this. Let's just kick our feet up. Next thing you know, they woke up from their sleep, from their dream, and guess what? Now these things get standing upon our feet boldly, man, knowing who we are, taking
Right.
back the kingdom, man. I'm gonna get another one real quick. Job chapter 14 and verse 5. So I did. Job chapter 14 and verse 5, and it reads, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." So the Lord, for lack of better terms, has a clock. Has a clock set up for every kingdom to rule. Some kingdoms they rule for this amount of time. Other kingdoms rule from this amount of time. Hey, when the Babylonians, when they ruled from 626 BC to 539 BC, that was already declared in the heavens. That was already declared, man. Right? So guess what? What's going to happen with Babylon? They know that their time is coming. The Lord is looking at the clock. And your house, I can't wait to come back. Hey, it's 11:59 right now. That clock about to hit 12 o'clock. It's about to hit noonday. The Lord gonna hop off his throne and destroy this place like a mighty
Uh, and it's like on that quick point, real quick, right? And that's why Esau, he has a doomsday clock, man. You can look that up. He says that it's like 100 seconds till midnight, right? So, and the Lord said, "And the night cometh, when no man can work, man." All right. So, unlike the Lord's, come. Yeah, you got it.
Come, my classic, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 2 in verse 27. Be not worried, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, says the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see death. So like he held. And that's plain upon tables, bro. We have to be merry in these times, man. We have to literally be happy. We can't be sad. Of course we know what's coming, what's next, but hey, we can't be sad, bro. We finna be out of here, man. It's literally 11:59, like the brothers is going into, and literally the Lord, he's getting ready to cover his people, man, with glories, man, with literally the sun and the moon and the stars upon our head. We're gonna be happy in the kingdom, bro. We ain't gonna be sad no more. We're gonna literally cast off that double garment and put on the diadem that coming from the Lord, man, and that's plain upon tables. The heathen ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Esau can't come. He can't come back up after he's put down after this. He can't, build his desolate places. The Lord already said he's going to destroy those things. And this is literally the end for him, huh? So that's why he's going to try everything against us, because he knows he has but a short time. And we can't do nothing but rejoice at this thing, huh? Because literally we're living in a prophecy right now. Come.
I got a quick precept. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse number 25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory." So Esau, he's just spazzing out right now, man. He's like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" Right? Because Yahweh Shah is coming back, man. And these high elites, they actually know that.
Right.
They actually know, because they look into the future, right? You read about that in the book of Isaiah chapter 47, as well as Ezekiel chapter 28. Esau has that kind of power. And he's like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" He's gonna try every way to stop the prophecies, but guess what? You can't do it, man. You can't fight against the Most High and prevail, right? It says, the Lord said in verse 28, right? Or I'm gonna read verse 28. "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." So, like the brother said, we're almost out of here, man. We, as much as we know we're almost out of here, Esau knows that his kingdom is going down too. You even have the author, the end time headlines for Twitter, right? And he says 10 ways of how America is literally crashing down, right? So these Edomites, some of these Edomites know that there's no saving America, all right? Come, we can go back to
that. Book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 13. "And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child."
Right. So persecution is coming, right? But we can keep going, because it talks about that again in verse 17.
"And the woman were given to wings of a great eagle, that she might flee into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half a time from the face of the serpent."
Right. So the wings of a great eagle, because the eagle is very fast. The eagle is very fast bird, right? So that's why it says the wings of an eagle, right? When you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, I believe verses 48 on down, right? It talks about Esau, or a nation coming against us, or 49 and 50, right? Coming against us from far as swift as the eagle flyeth, meaning that the eagle is very, very fast, right? And very, and also on another fold that is going into the Spaniards and the Europeans because their symbol is the eagle. But basically, this wilderness is going into a Babylon the Great as well, right? Because the serpent is nourishing us with this wine, right? The spiritual wine on the left hand side, the spiritual milk on the left hand side, etc., feeding us and nourishing us all this vanity, for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. That time and half the times is a certain dispensation of time, the 42 months, right? Or the 1,260 days in which, and these are spiritual, in which we'll be under subjection under Babylon the Great. All right. So come, you guys got it.
That precept, Jeremiah 15:11. The Lord said, verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in a time of evil and in a time of affliction. So the Lord is having these nations and stuff like that really take care of us. You go out there to ATL or in the city, you see different nations giving the homeless Jake food, right? You see them, they taking care, they giving us food in the markets. If the Lord wanted to, he can have them be so evil and not give us no food, not take care of us. Right? What's it called? They give us they give the sisters, it's evil, but at the same time, the Lord's still taking care of us. They give them what's it called, Section 8, right, and stuff like that. So they have a place to live still. So some things the Lord's doing, like it's still affliction, but the Lord's still having them take care of us for real.
I appreciate this book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and 15. Right? Until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness quietness and assurance forever. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation, and sure dwellings in quiet resting places. When it shall hail, coming down on the forest, and the city shall be in a low place. Right, so that's plain. That's plain. Right? We're going to, everything's going to be crashing down around us. This is just like in the book of Job, chapter 5. Everything's going to be crashing down around it, but somehow, some way, the Lord is going to find a way, to make sure his saints are all right, man, and make sure his saints is straight. Through it be that fruitful field, or that forest. Either way, we're going to be cool, man. Right? Verse 20. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. Is that literally, if somebody just got under a bridge, go to damn tent? No. That's literally the saints, man. We are literally, this is our water right here, man. We sow by the water. We sow by Yahushua. That's our water. Blessed are those people right there that believe in Yahushua and that get rescued through Yahushua. Those are the ones that are going to be in a forest, in a desert place, or literally a fruitful field, around Akim and Akwath, and Jacob's trouble. But either way, we're going to be cool, Lord willing. Though we get persecuted and throw everything around us, falling down through Esau.
That's right. But yeah, we can get going on that if let's see.
All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 15. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Right, and this is a spiritual flood, right? It's a spiritual flood. So this flood, this water, is going into Esau's philosophies and doctrines, right? He tries to wash us away with this vain philosophy and doctrine, man. Right, in Colossians 2:8, beware of that. All right, you got to beware of the flood of ungodly men. You got to be aware of the floods on the left-hand side, because just how Yahweh gives us that living water, Satan on the left-hand side gives you that water of death if you have ears to hear. You know what I'm saying? Esau gives you that water of death. Just like how you have wine on the right hand side, you got wine on the left hand side, right? So
Con.
Oh, you can get yours first.
Con. Well, let me just get this in Isaiah chapter 5. So, right? Isaiah chapter 5, in verse. Well, Con, you get yours first. I gotta see where I'm gonna start at.
Con. I'm gonna get this first real quick. All right, so you can't really fight against the Most High God. They try to come up with all these inventions to cast out the children of Israel. Even when you read not Romans. Even when you read about in Psalms chapter 83, they have crafty counsel talking about they want to cut off the children of Israel, that they may not remember the name and stuff like that. They're doing all these things trying to catch floods. And what does a flood do? A flood can drown. You can't swim in the flood. All hell breaking loose. So they try to cast all these things at us where we can't swim no more, not know who we are, so we drown. But really, the Lord is using that for our benefits, man. The YouTube, they had Thomas the Train, they had cat videos, they had so-called funny videos, which wasn't funny at all, right? I can put that out there. It wasn't funny, but they had all these things on YouTube and stuff like that. And now, people are using it for the truth. You got people using Snapchat. You got people using Instagram, Facebook for the truth. Back then, Facebook was used for the old heads. Yeah, I just got my new grill today. Can't wait to use it. Hashtag LOL. No, it's used for the old heads, man. Right now, guess what? Now you see Hebrew Israelite, Kwame Yasharala, right? Where the
Uh,
so-called black Americans are God's chosen people. I'm going to get
uh,
Acts chapter 5, 39. But if you be of God, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found even to fight against God. So if it's of the Most High God, man, if there's a prophecy saying that the children of Israel will be delivered from the land of the north, it's going to happen. You cannot fight against that. You got to deal with it. The Lord said it. He's not a man that he should. The Most High God is not a man that should lie, and the Son of Man that he should repent. But I know there's another precept in I think First Corinthians, but you got it, Tazaiyar.
Con. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 17, in we'll start at verse 12. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but the Most High shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. And behold, at eventide, trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Shimma Mashiach,
but Shimon.
he basically that's cold as hell. So he basically said in 6 hours he's gonna destroy them, man. He said, well, let me read that again. At evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. Damn. At evening he comes, but he don't even leave the morning. He ain't even existed in the morning time. That's cold, bro. He's gonna destroy them quick as hell like that, man. And they're gonna come in hardest. They're gonna come in like waters. But hey, the Lord is gonna destroy them in less than 6 hours, man. And that's cold, you know. So hey, that's the lot of them that come against us and come against His children. That's literally their lot, as is written. You know.
That's right.
Come
We can keep going.
on. Right, verse 16, Revelation 12 and 16. In the earth helped the woman. In the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Right. And what does that mean? The earth helped the woman. Let's go into the archaeology, the history, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, the Bible dictionaries, the timelines, right? The evidence, it helped the woman, right? It gives us faith, it boosts, our intelligence and knowledge in the scriptures that we may believe on the Most High and the Son, That's what that means. The earth helped the woman, right? Because watch this, right? I'm trying to pull up something, but brother's got precepts. You can bring it up.
I'm trying to find this precept. Because you can't do nothing against the truth but for it. So
That's in the book of Mark, chapter 9 and 42, I believe.
Mark 9:42.
I
thought
think
it was in one of the epistles. Let me see. Well, it's not that one. All right, you can't do nothing against the Most High God, man. You over here trying to be wise in your own counsel. Whole time the Lord's making you think these things, man. The Lord controls everything.
But I got a precept too. Right?
You got it.
Right. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 8. The highways lie waste, the wayfaring man seeth it. He has broken the covenant, he has despised the cities, he regardeth no man. The earth mourneth and languishes, Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Now will I rise, says the Lord. Now will I be exalted. Now I lift myself up. Ye shall conceive chaff. Ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as fire shall devour you, and the people shall be as the burnings of lime. As thorns cut up shall they be burnt in the fire. Hear ye that are far off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledge my might. Playing upon tables, man. So in those days, we're just gonna have to acknowledge the Lord's might, because He's literally going to use the earth, like the brothers putting up. He's literally using the earth as evidence, against their wickedness, man. Look at all the nations He destroyed. Look at all the lands He damn polluted, man. And look at the waters. Look at the seas. And look at everything this Edomite has done against the earth, man. He said, "You did all this, okay. Okay, you cast down my people. Their blood is everywhere upon this ground." That's literally what the Lord is saying. He said, "Okay, now acknowledge my might." It's plain.
God, that's right, man. And when they're looking on your screen right here, right, is a statue. It says a rare sculpted head of mystery biblical king, and this is the Northern Kingdom Israelite, right? A Northern Kingdom Israelite. That looks like Northern Kingdom. All right. So that's what that's an example we're talking about when the earth helps a woman, right? Mm-hmm. You also have something called Khan, the Kerber Kiyata. All right.
Salaki. It was Mark chapter 9 and 40 about you. Paraphrase.
Oh, you got it, Yasharala. I'm just looking. Yeah, he said Mark 9 and 40. You got it.
Khan. Oh, crazy, right? So yeah, so you had something called the Kerber Kiyata as well, right? What is the Kerber Kiyata? Basically, letters written in Hebrew, right? Because a lot of people say, well, shoot, the only records of Israelites are the Bible. That's it. No, that's not true. You have extra biblical sources which prove the existence of Israelites. If you say that there are no Israelites or Hebrews ever existing, that's outlandish, right? But yeah, the Kerber Kiyata. You also have for example, the Lactish letters, right? Of the Lactish letters, right, written in Hebrew, and the Canaanite inscriptions, right? You also have the Moabite stone, proving what the name of the Most High is. Okay, Moabite stone, right, or some people call it the Mesdastiel, right? Moabite stone is a steel, dated around 840 BCE, containing a significant Canaanite inscription in the name of King Misha or of Moab. You see that? And he includes the name of the Most High in there, right? See that? That's the Paleo Hebrew right there, right? That's the Paleo Hebrew. I'm trying to find where does it say the Most High's name, right? Yahweh, right? Come on, right here. You see that? It says Yahweh right there. because basically in the letter, you can read the translation too, but in the letter it says that the king of Moab, they had basically won a battle against us, and Moab, this king is like, look, my God, right, Chemosh, because they have a fish god, like literally, I'm not even making it up, like they worship a fish god. They're saying my God defeated your God Yahweh, which is not so, because Yahweh Shah is the heaven, is the only true, the most high God, right? So, but that's what they're saying, and that's how they roll. That's how these nations roll back then, right? They'll literally claim their God, just like how Jake claims his damn city, or Jake claims his street or his hood. Yeah, these nations will claim their God, right? Like for example, Baal, right, or Baalim will be the god of the Canaanites. This was a well-known fact, right, around in the ancient world. Yahweh is the god of the Hebrews, right, etc., etc. Chemosh would be the god of the Moabites, right? So, etc., etc. And it's just a lot of archaeology that just proves what we're saying. All right.
Kind of found it. 2 Corinthians 13, verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So they trying to, do what they're doing now. You can't really go against the Lord.
That's right.
Exactly. That precept is cold too, bro.
You
Quick.
can only do whatever you're doing right now, whether you're being wicked or whatever. Con, you got it.
No, Salak, you got it. It's delayed too, damn.
You straight. It's bad.
You got it though. Go ahead, King.
I'm gonna read it again. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. For we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So you can't really do nothing against the truth but for the truth in this thing, man. Whether you try to go against the Lord, persecuting the children of Israel, talking about your God defeated the Most High Yahweh, you're not really doing nothing against the Lord, but you're doing something for the truth.
Come on. Right, precept as well. Right, it's the book of Mark, chapter 9 and 32. But Yahushua said, forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part, playing upon tables. Right, so if you out here thinking, just finding our history, finding the Moabite stones, doing all this research and this and that, you're just nothing, dude. You're not doing nothing but helping us, man. You're not doing nothing but literally showing forth the glorious light of the Lord. You're literally digging stuff up out the earth. The earth probably helping it for real, pushing it up out the damn ground or something, man. The Lord could be doing stuff like that for real. But that just shows that this thing is really true right here, bro. It's plain.
Right. Oh, man. But yeah, we'll go back to that.
Come on. We have verse 17. Right? And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach.
That's right, man. That's a persecution of the saints. That's the fifth seal. All right. And it's coming. The fifth seal is coming. Whether we like it, understand it, believe it or not, the fifth seal is coming. It's going to open. When that fifth seal opens, what is that? That's a persecution of the saints. All right. So if we're keeping the commandments, if we're believing on Yahweh Shah, guess what? We're going to be the number one target. All right. We're going to be the number one target. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Ahbayah was on the face of the billboards in Atlanta, right? Have you seen this man? It's Ahbayah, bringing it out, right? Or Tazaiyar Gabar on wanted signs in Colorado, right? In Aurora, in Denver, right? In Boulder City, all around Colorado. I wouldn't be surprised, man, because we're going to be the face, right, of terrorism when that day comes, when the Most High opens up that fifth seal, starts that persecution of the saints. You just had an Eve, kind of being body slammed by the damn Edomite police, and she had a dress and hair wrapping fringes on. So how much more the men, right? If Eve is getting body slammed and punched in the face, how much more the men, right? But let's just get that real quick. Let's go to Revelation. And the Lord said, real quick, Slug, and the Lord said, the servant is not above his master, right? Meaning what? Everything that Yahweh Shah went through, we have to go through. We're not better than him. We can't get away, right? If Yahweh Shah got beat up, man, got punched, got mocked, got derided on, we have to go through that too. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. So really, we're going to be killed for this thing, right? Verse 10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, wilt thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? You see that? And and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled, right? So look, if a brother gets killed, hey, guess what? He's going to be the first on the chariot, man, right? That's in 1 Thessalonians 4, right? Verses 17 on down. And I just had one more precept. Right, so let's go to Revelation 20 and verse 4 and pass it to the brothers. Revelation 20 and 4. It says, what? And I saw thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shah and for the word of God. You see that? Beheaded. That's what happened to Paul, right? He was beheaded, right? And that's what's going to happen to a lot of us, right? That thing go down in the damn guillotine, right? And off with your head, right? But that's, that's dying for the Most High. It says, and which have not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they live and reign with Mahashiach 1,000 years. You see that? Meaning those that did not bow down unto Esau.
You got Tazaiyar. Want to get in there first?
You got it. I'm gonna find mine.
This book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, and I'll start at verse 67. Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So the people who's going to get delivered in that day are the people who's keeping commandments, diligently seeking the Lord while they have time. Not the people at clubs, they burn Sabbath, committing whoredom, all hell breaking, they smoking weed, blunts being smoked, backwoods, they hot boxing, they being lukewarm still in the world. You can go on and on, not wearing their fringes, not keeping the commandments, right? Blaspheming the Lord. You can go on and on and on, man, right? Verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered to idols. So they want to come begging at your, they're not going to beg. Hey, they might not even beg on your door. They might kick that thing down. You might be asleep. You haven't read that night. You didn't read that night. You didn't do a video that night. You didn't do anything. You go to sleep. Guess what? All hell break loose. You're going to be caught with your pants pulled down, man. They're going to bang down the door. They're going to, wrap you up. They're going to put you in a FEMA camp. They're going to make the only thing. I know there's what's it called on the internet. There was a news article saying for the Muslims, they was in a FEMA camp. The only thing they could eat is pork. There's no other food. So what you going to do in that day? You got brothers who haven't fasted. The only thing you can do is eat pork for it been 4 days. Look, they're going to eat the pork. They might do what they want to do in that thing, man. A lot of people going to fall in that day. Verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Because again, the Lord said, every man, you shall be hated of everybody. Every nation is going to hate
Right.
you. You go to the corner store, Elam hates you. You go to Walmart, Kroger, Food Depot, or Home Depot, in any store, guess what? Those people, they know about you. They're going to see your fringes. They're going to hate you. You working on your job, they might see the news, in the jobs, they got TV sometimes in the break room. You in a break room with some, fellow employees or something like that, associates. It's a lot here. You might see Yasharala. He might be in the break room, or you might Tazaiyar might be in the break room. The TV comes on the news, and he's on the news, man. Come on, you see some, you get $10,000 if you turn him in, dead or alive. Guess what? Now they're looking at you all weird. They haven't crafty count. They kind of kick you out the manager's room. They close the door. They kind of pull down the thing over the window, having crafty counsel against you, man. And next thing you know, the cops come in and kind of get you out of this thing, man. Right? Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Because you keep the commandments, you're not buying on a Sabbath day, you're hurting your economy. The so-called white man, he thrives on making money, but there's a lot of people, and it's true, they don't buy on the Sabbath, and we keep it different days. Some keep it in the middle of the week, some keep it on a Friday and Saturday, right? So we keep it in different days. So it's hurting their economy stronger and stronger, and now they see that they need us, man. Because
Right.
Come on. All right, it's the book of Philemon, chapter 1, and I'm going to read verse 13. Right, whom I would have retained with me, that in thy stead he might have ministered unto me in the bonds of the gospel. I'm going to jump to verse 15. Right, for perhaps he therefore departed for a season, that thou shouldest receive him forever. Not now as a servant, but above a servant, a brother beloved, specially to me, but how much more unto thee, both in the flesh and in the Lord. If thou count me therefore a partner, receive him as myself. If he has wronged thee, or oweth thee aught, put that on my account. I, Paul, have written. And see that he's just showing you brotherhood right there, man. He's just showing you how much you gotta love your brother, man. He said, put it on my account if I'm telling you something wrong. Basic. Right? But I'm gonna jump to verse 20. Yeah, brother, let me have joy in thee in the Lord. Refresh my bowels in the Lord. Having confidence in thy obedience, I write unto you, knowing that thou wilt also do more than I say. Right? So that verse that I read, right, in verse 15 and 16, that just shows, that, hey, he left for a little while so we could be with him forever, man. He literally died, and now he's not here with us, but on a spiritual level he is. So literally, sooner or later, once we, become higher than a servant, sooner most high willing, it will be with him forever, man. But right now we have to be as a servant and be like our master, because we're not greater than him, so we're still going to have to go through certain things that he went through, being a servant, huh? Being under him. But not being as him, just being under him. So being under him, we have to go through the things as him, man, and with him, to become with him, man, to become as him. And you can also read that in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, 19 on down. To become as Christ, you need to become lucky. You need to go through things he goes through. It's fun.
That's right. I got this precept right. 2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 46. Right? It says, then I said unto the angel, what young person is that? Is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. And they hate us because we confess Ahbayah in the world, man. Right? They hate the apostles because they're saying they're confessing the name Yahweh. You can read about that in the book of Acts chapter 4, right? The Jake's over there will probably like, hey, say Yahweh one more time, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Say that one more time, see what happens. And they hated Jeremiah. When you read Jeremiah, right? It says, literally, literally, right? The wicked men of Israel were like, "A prophesy not that thou die not by our hands." You know, roughly paraphrasing. Meaning, hey, you better stop prophesying, or you might catch this fade, man. You might catch this fade. I'm gonna lay my hands on you. You're gonna get it. So that, hey, they hate us, man, because we confess the names of Yahweh Yahushua. It says, "Whom they have confessed in the world, then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord." You see that? Stood so stiffly, right? Esau's like, "Hey, look, you're in the FEMA camp, right? You can, do as you please, but the only food we have here is pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, right?" And the elect, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, all right," and they're just gonna be praising the Lord 24/7, man. Right? Calling upon the name of the Lord. They're gonna be, the voice is gonna be going out, right? Can barely breathe, right? Vision kind of blurry, right? But this standing so stiffly for the name of the Lord. You see that? Right? And all praise the Most High. So Lord willing, the Lord gives us the strength in that day to endure like that. Come.
Got a precept in Esther chapter 3 and verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad, dispersed among the people, and all the provinces of thy kingdom. And their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. And that's how these other nations look at us, man. We have different laws. While we're resting on the Sabbath day, which is Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, everybody's out, buying and selling. We're out there rebuking, shaking the hand. They're out here, having fun, doing what they want to do. We don't eat shrimp, crab, or lobster, or pork and stuff like that, but they do. So we just a whole different breed of people. We're just different, and they kind of looking at us like we weird or something, man. Like we the ones wicked. I have people on my plantation, Salakia, asking me like, what these mean, the fringes and stuff like that. I just use, I just be wise about it. I just keep the commandments. Because you say, yeah, I'm a Jew. Salakia. If you say I'm the real Jew according to the Bible and stuff like that, all hell might break loose, especially at certain plantations. Yeah, I'm an Israelite. I'm a real Jew according to the Bible. Next, you don't have a job in this thing, man. But yeah, a lot of people ask me, what's that on the bottom of your on your shirt? Fringes. And that's weird, or that's unique, or that's royalty, man. That's different. So these people already know what's going on.
Right. Quick precept. Right, it's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13. So like 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 20, 22. Right? Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind. This is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time, he has kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty. It's beautiful, man. So that's just like the brother was saying. If we fall into danger, if we're surrounded by nothing but pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster in that plantation or the FEMA camp, hey, that shows forth our works right there, man. That literally shows forth the works that you have did in the faith you have towards Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But verse 24, know this therefore, that they which are left behind are more blessed than them that be dead. That's plain. That's as plain as it gets right there, bro.
That part, man.
Watch this. I'm gonna share my screen real quick, right? I'm gonna just show this video, right? Watchman for Israel. Subscribe to that, man. Subscribe to that channel. All right, Mighty Camps. All right, just for an example, man.
Right?
You see that? Hey, brother, come here to word, King. What's your nationality, brother? Man. Brother, stop right here, brother. Come here to word. What? He want to follow the hippopotamus. He want to follow damn Esau, man. This is madness out here. Nationality? What the hell are you doing, brother? Taking drunk out here, huh? I hate DC, huh? I hate DC. I hate.
Basically, wherever the prophets go, we bring forth. We don't bring forth contention, but what's the word? We bring forth a lot of noise, right? Because first and foremost, the Lord said, "Be bold," right, and stand for and be a soldier, right, and spare not, like it says in Isaiah 58:1. So wherever we go, man, we're going to stir up some spirits, man. And it's going to be some, it's going to be a scene, There's going to be a scene everywhere we go, right? And when we get on the nations don't like it, right? They're literally being cut, and they want to kill us right then and there, right? So the day is literally coming when they're going to actually lay their hands on us, right? Because, I'm sure the brothers can testify too, right? Hey, we talked to, a lot of Edomites, man, that want to, just have that hate in their eyes, and they want to kill us, A lot of Jakes, they want to kill us, right? But that day is coming, right? That persecution. Brothers have a point.
All right, quick precept for brother said. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse 17. Right? Salaki, verse 18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. Plain upon say. So we speak in a different language to these people. The real language is the language of Canaan, which is the Paleo Hebrew. But to these people, they don't understand. We're speaking literally the Lord's words. It's not just in Hebrew. It's literally the Lord's words out this book. They don't understand. It stirs up spirits, like the brother said. It starts up commotion and confusions. Nationality. What is a nationality? Drunk, man. That's plain. It's literally a different language to our people, man.
Yeah, man. Right, because the brother knocked on this video, right? As soon as he came up, a demon came right out of nowhere, right? A demon came and he had to deal with the brother, and it was just a whole bunch of contention going on, right? Just a whole bunch of contention, right?
And have made us kings and priests. And what? Unto God. And what? Unto God. Read. And his God. Read.
Right. Watch.
I'll say Shalom. That means peace.
You see that?
All right. Can you speak it? Yeah, we can speak it. What does
Can you
that
hear it?
You gotta learn your nationality.
Come.
What is me speaking about language have to do with you being delivered out of America? How you figure out I don't know my language? Because you said that you're a black man. I said, what? You said you're a black man. That don't matter. That doesn't matter. That's just not matter. That's all that is. No, it's not. As it is. No, it's not. What nation? Who are your forefathers? Who are your forefathers? You ain't here. Brother, stand right here. Be a man. You got it. I apologize. Don't run away like that. Stand right here and defend your cause, brother. Who are your forefathers, man? You tell me. Brother, who are your forefathers? You ain't even do what I asked. You don't even know, bro. You ain't do what I asked you. You don't know what's going on. You gave me peace. That's all you get. You ain't say nothing else. And now, if I spoke Hebrew, you not correct. Stretch forth my hands until I'm disobedient and gainsay people. Disobedient and gainsay people. Brother, on the Lord, you want to put to death. Brother, that's it. The Lord is going to put to death. Ain't no on your mother. The Lord going to kill you and your mother. The Lord going to do it, man. No, you stop what you doing, brother. We ain't never going to stop what you doing, man.
Con is it's like real quick, because brother, we brothers, like we put forth judgments out there when we go out there, man. Right? We put forth judgments, and Jake is not going to tolerate that anymore, right? I'm pretty sure Jake, in the time when Esau lays his hands on us, Jake's going to be right along there with them, man. Right? A lot of the coons, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the coons of our people, they're going to be helping Esau, right? Other nations, everybody's going to be helping to afflict us, right? In that day, so come, because the Lord did say, "Thou shalt be hated of all men," right? All nations, man. Come. But yeah, check out that video because it's pretty it's it's a lot of edification and it's a good video, man. All praise, a good camp.
And it's a precept before that as well. That just shows what the brother is saying right here, right? I should have read this before, but I didn't, see the context for it. But this is verse 16, Isaiah 19:16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Right? And the Lord, he speaks. There's plenty of videos we did on this, but the Lord, he speaks to the prophets, man. And when we shake our hand, sometimes that could just be, us talking, or most of the time it's literally the Lord talking to that person, man. Because it puts your energy into it, puts your soul into that thing, man. You earnestly, you want your heart and mind to, for that brother or whatever that spirit is in that brother to come out of him, man. You want the good things to come out, or the bad things. When that hand starts shaking, that's the Lord right there, man. And that really it messes with the demons, and it messes with the good spirits as well. It really gets things involved into the Lord when you start shaking the head.
That's right. That's right. Man. Come, but yeah, we can bring out our closing precepts now. Yeah, but that was a Revelation 12 breakdown, man. All great. Yeah, let me bring out closing precepts. I got mine.
You got yours, about it? Y'all go ahead. I'll get mine last.
I'll bring myself first. This is book of 2 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 10. And the Lord spake by his servants, the prophets, saying, the Lord speaks through his prophets. Everything that was coming out through the precepts, that's the Lord speaking. When someone's trying to exhort you, that's the Lord speaking. When you're getting corrected, that's the Lord speaking, man. The Lord be speaking to a lot of people, even to myself, but men perceive it not, man. You over here, Lord, please give me a sign that she's the one for me. All hell break loose. Brother and sister, it be happening with his sister as well, man. Lord, please give me a sign if he's the one for me. And guess what? He's not teaching you, right? He only wants you for this, that, and the third. And all hell breaking loose as well. The Lord sending out his prophets on the highways and byways to shake down the kingdom right now. We shaking it down. We patting it down by to destroy this place, man. Every time the Lord about to destroy a place, he always sent out his servants, the prophets. Look what happened with he sent out Moses and Aaron. Right? Look what happened with Babylon. You had Isaiah, Jeremiah, right? Look what happened with the Persians, man. Right? Look what happened with the Assyrian kind. Look what happened with the Persians. Right? Look what happened with the Grecians, the Romans. Look what happening now.
Right.
I can bring mine out too. It's pretty short.
Yeah, Con, you got it.
Right? It's the book of Romans, chapter 5 and verse 1. Right? Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Yahweh Mashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in the hope of glory of the glory of God. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience worketh experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. And that's literally how it's shot in a poem, man. That's amazing right there. How much faith, how much hope, how much glory, Yahweh dying for us gives this whole nation, man. We literally feel this thing, right? We literally feel how much grace and mercy we have through this thing, man. If Yahweh didn't really die for us, man, and if he didn't really walk this earth, we wouldn't be wearing fringes right now, man. Now, why the hell would we just be wearing fringes and damn pendants and stuff like that, man, and putting on hair wraps? No, people don't just think of this stuff, man. This is literally the Holy Ghost in our people, man. People don't just, try to take a whole heritage, especially Israelites, especially, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. We try to stay to ourselves, man. But, this is how we know that this Holy Ghost is really for us, man, and really for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And that Hamashiach died for us. Through his grace and mercy, we're keeping the commandments and having faith in him. And forevermore, we could get the kingdom of God, man. Through the hope that the Lord has given us by Yahweh.
Con. All right, I got this. All right, all praise, man, all praise. It's Isaiah chapter 45. I love Isaiah. In verse 21, it says, "Tell ye and bring them near. Yea, let them take counsel together. Who have declared this from ancient time? Who have told it from that time? Have not I the Lord?" Right, the Lord already, look, man, every prophecy, man, that we see is being fulfilled, the Lord already spoke of it from ancient time, man, right? And there is no God else beside me, a just God and a Savior. There is none beside me, man. There's none beside Yahweh Bash Yahweh, right? And keep going, verse 22, "Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am the Most High, and there is none else." Man, hey, big up the Lord, man, because only the Lord can speak like this. Right? I am, and there is none else beside me. Even though Esau doesn't, therefore he will be destroyed, right?
Right.
Gone, verse 23. "I have sworn by myself, the Lord is gone. It's like the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness and shall not return." You see how the Lord is speaking? It's not going to return, man. Right? Whatever I speak is not going to come back onto me void. Right? It says in righteousness it should not return, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall swear, man. So it's get down or lay down in that day, man. All flesh, everybody gotta bow down, man. Break your knees and bow down to Yahweh Bash Yahweh, man. Who is greatest, who is worthy to be praised. All right. So come on with that. As the brother Yasharala.
Tazaiyar Gabar.
Brother
Abbayah. Coming back to y'all with yet another video through the spirit and power Yahweh Bash Yahweh. Lord willing, this is edifying. This is Revelation chapter 12 breakdown. So yeah, Khan. That also Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.